Every night, you do something that would sound completely insane if humans hadn't been doing it forever. You willingly become unconscious for roughly a third of your life. Think about that for a second. Imagine explaining sleep to an alien. Every day we stop doing what we're doing, lie down for 8 hours, lose awareness of our surroundings, hallucinate for a while, and then wake up hoping everything is okay. That sounds ridiculous, but somehow it's completely normal. Most people think sleep is just time when the body shuts down, like putting your computer into sleep mode. Nothing important happening, just waiting until morning. But that's not even close to what's actually happening. While you're asleep, your body becomes one of the busiest places on earth. Your brain starts reorganizing itself, hormones are released, memories get sorted, cells are repaired, waste is removed from your brain. Your immune system gets to work. Entire systems begin operating differently. In some ways, you're actually more active asleep than awake. So let's start at the beginning. You're lying in bed, maybe scrolling your phone, maybe staring at the ceiling, maybe promising yourself you'll go to sleep in 5 minutes. Even though you've already said that 3 times, at this point your brain is still running in daytime mode. You're alert. Your body temperature is relatively high, your heart rate is normal, your brain is actively processing information. Then something interesting starts happening. As darkness increases, your brain begins releasing melatonin. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone, but it doesn't actually knock you out. It's more like your brain's way of saying, hey, bedtime is coming. Meanwhile, your body temperature begins to drop, your blood pressure begins falling, your muscles begin relaxing, and gradually you become less aware of the outside world. Then you enter stage 1 sleep. This is the weird in-between state. You're technically asleep, but not really asleep. You've probably experienced this. Somebody wakes you up and says, you were sleeping, and you immediately respond, no, I wasn't, even though you absolutely were. That's stage 1. It usually only lasts a few minutes. During this stage, your brain waves start slowing down, your eye movements become slower, your muscles loosen, and sometimes something really strange happens. Your body suddenly jerks. Maybe your arm twitches, maybe your leg kicks, maybe you feel like you're falling. Then you wake up for a second. Congratulations, you just experienced a hypnic jerk. Scientists still aren't completely sure why these happen. One theory is that your brain mistakes muscle relaxation for falling, so it sends a signal to catch yourself, which is why it feels like you tripped off a cliff for no reason. A few minutes later, you enter stage 2 sleep. This is where things start getting serious. Your body temperature continues dropping, your heart rate slows, and your breathing becomes more regular. Your awareness of the outside world drops dramatically. If someone walks through the room, you're much less likely to notice. If your phone buzzes, your brain may completely ignore it. This stage actually makes up about half of your sleep, which means you've spent years of your life here. While this is happening, your brain starts doing something incredibly important. It begins deciding what information to keep and what information to throw away. Think about everything you experienced today. Every conversation, every face, every sound, every random thing you saw online. Your brain can't keep all of it, so sleep becomes cleanup time. Important information gets strengthened while unimportant information starts fading away. It's basically the world's most complicated filing system, and it's happening almost automatically. Then you descend even deeper into stage 3 sleep, also known as deep sleep. This is the stage your body really cares about, because this is when repair work begins. Growth hormone gets released, tissues begin repairing themselves, muscles recover, bones strengthen, your immune system becomes more active. If you've ever wondered why being sick makes you tired, this is one reason. Your body wants more time to perform maintenance, and deep sleep is when much of that maintenance happens. But deep sleep isn't the strangest thing your body does. Not even close. Because while you're asleep, your brain has another problem. Every second you're awake, your brain produces waste, tiny byproducts from billions of cells doing their jobs. Normally that's not a huge issue, but your brain is packed inside a skull. It doesn't exactly have room for a giant cleanup crew. So for years, scientists had a question. How does the brain get rid of all this junk? The answer turned out to be pretty incredible. While you're asleep, your brain literally starts washing itself. Seriously. Researchers discovered that during sleep, spaces between brain cells expand. This allows fluid to flow more freely through the brain, almost like opening extra lanes on a highway. As that fluid moves around, it helps remove waste products, including proteins that have been linked to diseases like Alzheimer's. In other words, sleep isn't just rest, it's housekeeping. miss enough sleep, and the cleaning crew doesn't get enough time to work. It's one reason sleep deprivation can make you feel mentally foggy. Your brain literally hasn't had enough time to clean up after itself. But then something even stranger happens. You start dreaming. Every night, your brain creates entire worlds, people, places, conversations, stories. Sometimes they make sense. Most of the time, they absolutely do not. One minute you're at school, the next minute you're riding a giraffe through a grocery store. And somehow that feels completely normal. That's because the part of your brain responsible for logical thoughts becomes less active during dreams, which explains why dream you accepts things that awake you would immediately question. Your brain basically turns off its fact checker. Dreams mostly happen during REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. If someone watched you during REM sleep, they'd notice something weird. Your eyes would be moving around rapidly beneath your eyelids, as if you're watching something. In a way, you are. Your brain is generating experiences in real time. Entire scenes, entire conversations, entire stories. Some scientists think dreams help process emotions. Others think they're involved in learning and memory. The truth is, we still don't completely understand why dreams exist, which is kind of amazing. Humans have built rockets, landed on the moon, split atoms, created artificial intelligence, yet we still can't fully explain why we dream. But here's one thing we know. During REM sleep, your body does something that sounds terrifying. It temporarily paralyzes you. Right now, that sounds bad, but it's actually a good thing. Imagine dreaming that you're running, or fighting, or jumping. If your body copied every movement from the dream, things could get dangerous pretty quickly. So, your brain disconnects most of your muscles. You're basically running a simulation without actually moving. Most of the time, you never notice, but occasionally something goes wrong. Your brain wakes up before the paralysis wears off. This is called sleep paralysis, and it can be absolutely terrifying. You wake up, you can see your room, you know you're awake, but you can't move. You try to lift your arm, nothing. You try to sit up, nothing. For a few seconds or even a minute, your brain and body are out of sync. Some people even report seeing figures in the room, hearing voices, feeling pressure on their chest, which explains why stories about demons visiting people at night exist in cultures all over the world. Thousands of years before neuroscience existed, people were trying to explain sleep paralysis. And honestly, if you didn't know the science, it would be pretty hard to come up with a better explanation. Fortunately, sleep paralysis is usually harmless. Unpleasant, but harmless. Eventually, the connection comes back, your muscles respond again, and everything returns to normal. But then something even stranger happens. By morning, most of your dreams are gone, completely erased. Think about how strange that is. Your brain just spent hours creating entire experiences, entire conversations, entire stories, entire worlds. And then it throws most of them away. In fact, researchers estimate that most dreams are forgotten within minutes of waking up. Sometimes within seconds. That's why you've probably had this happen before. You wake up, you remember a dream perfectly, every detail seems crystal clear. Then you get out of bed, brush your teeth, check your phone, and suddenly, it's gone. You know you had a dream, you know it was interesting, but the details have completely disappeared. Scientists think this happens because the brain isn't storing dream memories the same way it stores waking memories. It's more focused on processing information than preserving it. Means your brain spends hours creating content that almost nobody ever gets to see, including you. But now let's talk about what happens when sleep doesn't happen, because this is where things really get weird. Imagine staying awake for 24 hours. No sleep at all. At first, it doesn't sound that bad. Plenty of people have done it. College students, new parents, people trying to finish projects at the last minute. But after a day awake, your brain starts struggling. Reaction times slow down, focus gets worse, decision making becomes harder. In some tests, people who stay awake long enough perform similarly to someone who's legally drunk. And that's just after one night. Keep going and things become much stranger. After around 48 hours awake, your brain starts looking for shortcuts. Tiny lapses in attention begin appearing. These are called microsleeps. They're exactly what they sound like. Your brain briefly falls asleep without asking permission. Sometimes for less than a second, sometimes for several seconds. The scary part is that you may not even realize it's happening. Imagine driving, then your brain shuts off for 3 seconds at highway speeds. That's hundreds of feet traveled unconscious. Keep pushing beyond that and hallucinations can begin. People report seeing shadows, hearing sounds, seeing movement that isn't there. Their brains become so desperate for sleep that reality starts breaking down. Which brings us to one of the strangest facts about sleep. You can survive longer without food than without sleep. Your body treats sleep as a biological necessity, not a luxury, not a reward, a requirement. And despite all our technology, despite modern medicine, despite everything we know about the human body, sleep remains one of the most important things we do. Every single night, while you're asleep, your brain is cleaning itself. Your memories are being organized. Your immune system is working. Your body is repairing damage. Hormones are being released. Cells are being maintained. Systems are being reset. Entire processes are happening without you noticing. And the weirdest part? Tomorrow night, you'll do it all again. You'll willingly become unconscious, lose awareness of the world, spend hours dreaming, let your brain clean itself, let your body repair itself, and trust that you'll wake up in the morning. When you really think about it, sleep is one of the strangest things humans do. We just happen to do it so often that we've stopped noticing how weird it actually is. And tonight, you're gonna do it all again.